my heart is racing and my mind is just, because that was some action-packed shit. Oh my god, yo. Like, even though I played the game, the emotional scenes still hit me. Like, watching Ellie, like, cut her hand and try and put it on Sam's leg in hopes to, like, heal him, to pass on her immunity to him to save his life, and then watching just how terrified she is and broken she is when it fails, and then Henry has to kill Sam, and then watching Joel turn to Henry and know what Henry's next move is going to be, know what the next thought in his head is going to be, because he felt the same way in regards to Sarah. Oh boy, like, this show is living up to the definition of being probably the greatest video game adaptation that we've seen currently during my lifetime. Anyway, I have no idea what lays further on down the path. Live action video game series. Somebody got on me like a couple weeks ago when I said that. Like, how dare you say that when Castlevania exists? I love Castlevania. Castlevania is the greatest animated adaptation of a video game you've ever seen. But this right here, oh boy, this right here, and for people who go into it blind, bless you. Just bless you, because you don't have to deal with the anguish of knowing what's going to come and having to deal with the twists and turns that you know are still going to lead towards the eventuality. Like, I knew what awaited me. I knew pain awaited me on the other side of this hill, and I still held out hope. I held out hope that maybe Neil Druckmann and the producers we're gonna change fate. We're gonna send Sam and Henry off into the sunset. And then that scene happened, and I was just like, why y'all do me like this? Why do I do this to myself? I do this to myself. Oh boy. But yo, that clicker scene, oh my god, that is a payoff to essentially the setup they had during the last episode, where we saw like the ground move and we knew something was under there, and I was like, oh, this infected on the ground. Like, if this whole thing is just a big interconnected web underground, and they're saying that they sent a horrible idea, knowing that the infection is underground, sending and trapping all the infected underground is a horrible idea. And there's a level of foreshadowing to the level of horror we were going to get during that scene, because when they go into like that underground kindergarten, Joel's like, yeah, nobody's here, but chances are, you know, they all basically just got snatched up and infected, and there's nothing underground. There's no infected underground. There's no traces of an infected underground, not even a dead body attached to the wall in any way, shape, or form. And when they all come out of the ground, it is a swarm. Like, that's one of the things that I love, that I really wish Game of Thrones had done better in regards to the undead, which is like, it is a horrifying swarm where they're jumping over each other, they're crawling over each other, they're throwing their bodies into one another. They are coming at you full sprint, full blast. And I like the fact that the soldiers didn't just instantaneously get annihilated. Like, they held their ground for a bit until they ran out of ammunition, and then they got overrun, because that is basically, like, we're talking about like a civilian militia here. Like, think of that in regards to the military, where you have an entire city that is infected, and you are trying to hold the infected back block by block, and every time you reload, the infected take a block. Every time you have to restock an ammunition, the infected take a block, and you're just getting pushed back and back and back and further back until the entire situation is hopeless, and you see everybody sprinting well, the remainders of the military, you see them sprinting away, trying to get away from the infected so that they don't get infected. But yo, hats off to my man. Like, I knew somebody was gonna get the bloater execution. I like the fact that they included the bloater execution in this. That, like, he got snatched up. The second he got snatched up, I was like, oh, it's gonna do the whole fingers in the mouth thing, and it's just gonna boop. And when that happened, I was like, holy fucking shit, I cannot believe they decided to put that in the show. I like the fact that they put the executions in the show, like the one clicker that jumped over the thing, grabbed the lady, tilted her head to the side, and then like chomped in her neck and then pulled back. Beautiful. Beautiful. Give me more of that. I need more of that. I want more of that. Like, going forward, because I already know what awaits Joel next week, but going forward, that is what we want. I want to see more infected. And I already know that the show's doing a good job of balancing, which is something that I feel The Walking Dead didn't do, of balancing infected and people as being the two major threats. Because for the most part in this episode, people showed up and they were the major threat, which is something that I feel The Walking Dead got wrong, where The Walking Dead was like, hey, people, they're the bad guys, they're the ones you're always going to be fighting, and it kind of reduces the threat and downplays just how dangerous the zombies in that universe are. In this show, the infected are the most dangerous element on the board. Yes, another person is dangerous. Yes, another person is going to be coming towards you with malicious intent. They have their own ulterior motive. They want your supplies. They want your gun. Maybe they just want your life, or they have something more nefarious in mind. But once the infected arrive on the board, it becomes the major threat. Those soldiers that were sent forward to flank Joel, the second the infected came out, Joel was no longer the problem. They started fighting the infected. Once the infected came out, Joel was no longer concerned about picking them off. He was picking off the infected to save Ellie. And I don't know who that child is who played that child clicker. No, sir. No, thank you. Because she did like this ballerina flip when she came through the thing. And I was like, you're a little bit too flexible for a clicker. Like those are some acrobatics right there. Can you imagine if like you were just like out in the world being chased by a bunch of clickers and one of them was dressed in a sparkle pony tutu just doing acrobatic flips as it chased you? As long as the other two clickers get me, I'm fine. I cannot allow myself to die in this way. Like, I'm sorry. The child clicker, like, I can't let you take me out, son. Like, I'd have to run towards the bloater and hope that the bloater killed me in, like, that one haymaker like it did that one dude, or it just picked me up and slammed me like it did that other guy. Because getting taken out by that child clicker is just the height, in my opinion, of disrespect. It's the worst way to go. Because I feel as though, while still dangerous, it's not as dangerous as the adult versions. And I like the fact that we actually saw the kids, because the child clicker wasn't the only one. There's a few of them peppered in there. It's the major one that you focus on, but you see a bunch of like extra smaller ones running around. I don't know if that was CGI or if like those were actually other child clicker actors running around, but you see a couple of other them come running out of the hole. That's great. That pays back basically Joel's question about where all the people in the kindergarten went. Here's the question going forward. Are we going to be running into other situations where they're going to be popping out of the ground like daisies? Like, what's going on with the infected in this show? Because like I said, in the video game, everyone's above the ground, so you kind of see them coming. My whole thing is, if I'm just strolling through like a random town on my way to like visit my buddy, what are the chances that, oh my god, this is Gears of War. This is Gears of War. This is Gears of War. Where like you're just randomly strolling and a sinkhole opens up and out come the locust. The infected are basically the locust, where at any point in time a sinkhole shows up, you know that like 300 infected are about to come running out of that sinkhole to just eat your ass. Oh, that's dangerous. that's 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 the peak of terrifying. Because like I don't only have to worry about the ones above the ground, I have to worry about the ones that are gonna come from underground. I'm a big man. Like, we take big steps. I can't be setting off these sinkhole traps when I'm out there in this post-apocalyptic universe. Oh man, I'm gonna have to follow my boy Columbus from Zombieland. Get that cardio in. We're gonna have to start getting some steps in, knock out that cardio, because yo, that's dangerous. But let me know what you think about this episode of The Last of Us. Comment down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.